Good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Vikas Chopra live. Thank you very much for coming on board if you're already here. It's Vikas Chopra live. I want you to, if possible, I want you to like and share this page for me. If you know me, if you're good friends with me, and if you know about what I do, I want you to like and share this page for me. Okay, so I'm just going to double check on this sound to see if everything's all working, and then we'll be good to go. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so yeah, Vikas Chopra. It's all about training. The program is all about employment, for training for employment and personal development. That's what we do every Wednesdays. That's what we do on every Saturday as well. Training for personal development and employment. That's what we're doing. So what I want to do, just gonna switch this off a second. Yeah, so I just want to talk to you about training for personal development and employment. That's what we're here. My name is Vikas Chopra, excellencetraining@outlook.com. That's the email address, excellencetrain@outlook.com. My number 07932604705. If you want to phone, if you want to call the studio, 457-875. That's the studio number if you want to give us a call. If you want to shout out and you want to come on at the bottom of the and make any comments, that's fine as well. You can do that, and I'll give you a shout out as well. But we're talking about training for employment and personal development. That's what we're talking about today. Now, I want to say something. I don't know about you, but last night I didn't sleep too well. I don't know why, but I just didn't sleep too well. Can I ask you a question? Have you been in a situation at night where you haven't been able to sleep well? And what did you do? What did you do in that situation? How do you plan to get a nice sleep? Some people can just hit the sack and go, bang, they're out. Within 3 minutes, they're out cold. Yeah? Even if a burglar came in the house, they wouldn't even know. Some people can be that far gone. I remember years ago, somebody broke into my house and I woke somebody up and they wouldn't get up. They actually wouldn't even move. Back in the day, they were just out cold. So what I want to say, last night I found that I couldn't sleep. Have you ever been there? What was the reason for you not being able to sleep well? Just want you to have a think about that. Well, that's what happened to me last night. So if I come across a little bit groggy today, like I've just woken up, but I haven't. Yeah, I've been up, I haven't had no sleep, but I've been up. It's just me being me. All right. So now another question I want to ask you, because I think sometimes we come to situations where people ask us certain questions, and or they ask us to do something, maybe at work, and they'll say something to us. Can you do this for me? And you are not really comfortable. You're not comfortable with them. How do you handle that scenario? What should you do? So, for example, in the past with me, when I was younger, I don't believe I was a very confident young man when I was younger. And somebody would owe me some money and I wouldn't ask for it. But I carried on working. I was too frightened to ask for my wages, or frightened to ask when I'd be getting paid. Now, that's happened to me in the past. You know, have you ever felt like that when you've been in an uncomfortable situation, or maybe you're looking for an answer? Maybe you're looking for an answer, and the answer you feel might not be the one you want, or the answer that someone's going to give you could trigger you. So if I'm asking for my money, the answer for me when I was younger would be, if I ask him and he says no, I'm going to get really upset with him. And if I get really upset with him, I'm going to end up leaving the job, or I'm going to end up possibly getting into a serious altercation. Now, that was me in my younger days. And sometimes what I want to say is that we can be in a situation where we have fear of the person's consequence, fear of the person not hearing you, fear of the person not coming through to you. Sometimes we can have that, or fear of a loss of something, because that's a serious emotion, that is. So what should you do? What should you do? What should you do that is principally right for you? I've got a friend of mine that says if even someone owes him £3, the principle is he will ask for it, because it's the principle of respect of the £3. It doesn't matter. It's a principle there. So what are your principles when it comes to maybe having to do something because you're a little bit uncomfortable, or maybe asking for your wages, or maybe asking, maybe you're in a potential friendship with someone, and maybe clarifying where things are. What do you do? What would you do? What would be the right thing? Now the question for you would be, what would be the right question to ask for you right there? Because the situation is about you, so how are you going to deal with that, and what should you do? How should you deal with that? Now what I want to say to you, there is such a thing as a quality of assertiveness. An assertive person excuse me, an assertive person will ask for what they want. They will ask for it. Now when someone says to you sometimes, and I want you to remember this language pattern, when someone says to you, I can't do that, well, I'm not going to do that, I don't want to do that, I'm not comfortable doing that, and you're maybe coaching them or communicating with them, because today's program is a little bit about coaching. Today's program is going to be a follow-up to the last one, which we talked about feedback on the Saturday. We're just following up, and it's going to wrap up some extract. That's what we're going to do. So when someone says to you that I don't want to do this, what are you going to say to them? What are you going to say? Let me make sure this is on silent here. What are you going to say to them? What communication are you going to say? Well, I want to give you a specific question that you can ask. A specific question you can ask someone to find out what their real fears are. And it's a language pattern that's very powerful. Yeah? So you would say to the person, what prevents you from asking for what you want? What prevents you from taking charge of what your rights are? What prevents you from looking after number one? What prevents you from having to do what you need to do? What prevents you from following your principles? So those are the types of questions that should be coming up into your mind, because then what you're doing is you're searching for that deleted material, and that material is then going to focus you in the right direction. Yeah? Instead of saying I can't, I won't, I'm not comfortable, I'm not happy with. What prevents you from doing it? Now for me, if I didn't have a good sleep, what prevents me from having a good sleep? Now only I know the answer to that question. If I ask my unconscious, only I know on the inside what the answer to that question is. So that question there, what prevents you from, is very powerful. Very, very powerful. And there's been times, sometimes, when you can maybe you're going through a business change or something like that. We know COVID is affecting a lot of people. We know that depression and mental health are right up there, even though they're not being talked about as much, even though they're not being concentrated on as much. You know, we know that's all up there. And when you're not sleeping, or maybe not sleeping, or maybe when you're overthinking something and you're thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it, what should you do? Yeah, what should you do? Because when you're thinking about that thing, it's taking out all your time. It's taking everything away. It's robbing you. It's about looking at the sand in the timepiece as it drops down. Because if I was to ask you now, what is the greatest commodity that you have in life? You might say my money, but I will say alternative. I will say your greatest commodity right now is time. Like those little pieces of grains of sand that drop in that timepiece. Your time is ticking away. I'm not trying to scare you here, I'm just telling you your time is trickling away. So you need to take charge of that time. You need to take charge of that time, because time is your greatest asset. So that means you're now for example, and I've already said this before, when people create these pictures in their minds, because we think visually, when we create these movies or hallucinations of what might happen, it hasn't happened, but it might happen. We create these hallucinations in our mind. They're all in there, and we're creating them. This is what's going to happen. A woman with a phobia that walks to the window will presume, or she'll make a big movie or image in her mind that she's falling down because she's afraid of heights. So in terms of what's going on inside, in terms of what someone may have said to us, in terms of the internal conversation that we have, we need to change that. You need to learn to change. And I keep saying this on most of my programs. You need to learn to change what's on the inside, so that when that changes on the inside, you can have a better outcome. You can have a better solution. You need to start asking the right questions. Yeah. So instead of focusing on maybe something from the past, if it's in the past that you're focusing on, or instead of focusing on something of the future, you need to be saying to yourself, stop right there. Because we have these conversations. You need to say, stop right there. No more. Stop. And then you need to say to yourself, what have I learned? What am I learning right now from this situation? Because that is the $1 million question. The $1 million question is, what am I learning from this situation that's going to take me to somewhere more positive? That's going to take me to a more empowered state. Because when I'm thinking about this, what happens? Somebody said to me the other day, they said, you've reminded me of something. I've been trying so hard not to think about it. And you know what? I'm upset now. I didn't know that. What was I trying to do with the person? I was trying to help them. I was trying to give them support. I was trying to say to them, look, everything's okay. Look, you're a strong person. Look, but they said, no, you've reminded me of my... Now, that person's obviously overthinking a particular situation. There could be overthinking that particular situation. And I've reminded. So you've got to be careful, and you've got to say, stop. Now, if you don't stop and it carries on, you need to say it louder on the inside. Louder. So that it overtakes every sound within you. You need to say, stop. What can I learn from this? Stop. Because you want to be in control of what's on the inside. Okay? So, as I say, it's just sort of a little tip there for you to sort of manage your own mind a little bit better, and a little tip there for you to be able to move forwards, because you need to be thinking about moving forwards. Yes, we're in the COVID time period. Yes, things are a little bit difficult for all of you, for me, even me. As I said to you yesterday, I couldn't sleep last night. Yeah, something was bothering me. Do you want to know? I'm not telling you because it's private, but something was bothering me. Yeah. So in terms of what's going on the inside, learn to manage it and say stop. What did I learn? If you say I can't do it, it's difficult for me, I'm going to throw that language pattern at you again, and I'm going to say to you, what prevents you from right now making that change? What prevents you right now from making the breakthrough? All right, so today's session we are talking a little bit about coaching. I'm doing some indirect coaching therapy work with you as we're on the radio. And I want to say thank you for listening in. If you've been here, I've seen a few people on here already. Feel free to comment. Feel free to give me some feedback. Feel free to tell me what you want to listen to. Feel free to ask me to look up a subject area and come back to you, because I will. Feel free to give me feedback, because this program here is about training, personal development for employment and personal development. So who we are, we're Excellence Training. We're here to help you. We're here to give you the right support and guidance if you want it. It doesn't matter whether you're working, etc. Whatever your status is, we will give you coaching free. We'll give you training free. We'll give you support free. If you want someone there just to listen to you, feel free. Communicate with me. All right, so we're going to be talking about coaching today. Now, it doesn't matter whether you are an employer. I've had an employer contact me the other day. We'll train your team. We've got some distance learning courses that you can do in your own time, and I'll go through them in a bit. We'll not only train your team, if there's any specifics that you need within your organisation, if there's any people in your organisation struggling with mental health because of what's going on, we'll come in and have a conversation. We'll come in and do some coaching. We're happy to do that. Yeah. Are you employed and you're looking to better yourself? I would say there's something seriously wrong with you if you are not looking to better yourself. Now, Warren Buffett, I don't know whether you've heard of him, hedge funder, stocks and shares, multi-billionaire, was asked, what is the best investment that you could make? And he said the best investment that one could make in their life is to focus and invest on their own personal development. That's what he said. So I believe what he says. You need to focus on your personal development. So as I said, if you're unemployed and you've been contacting a lot of people, maybe you're not getting through to people, maybe there's a way that or strategy that you're using to look for jobs and you're not finding the work that you want. I want you to get in touch with me, because as I say, I'm not saying I've got all the solutions, but I will say that we've got a strategy here that I've put together and it works. Okay? It does work. And if I can help you in any way, and it's free, why not bite my hand off? Now, what I want to talk about today as well is the skills. The skills. Well, what do you think? Tell me in the comments if you want. What do you think are the skills of an effective coach? What do you believe are the skills of an effective coach? A person that is really good at coaching. What would you look for in an effective coach? Have you ever been down in the dumps? Who do you go to speak to? Who do you communicate with? Where do your conversations go? Tell me. All right. Now I want to take a little break and let you think about that for a few moments. And I want you to tell me if you can, or if you're watching this program afterwards, after it's been played out, because I will repeat and play this back out again. I want you to tell me, what are the effective skills of a coach that you look for? So just give me a few minutes. I'll be right back there. You hold on there and I'll run away. See you in a minute. Yeah, so coming back onto the subject area, skills of a coach. What do you think are the skills of a coach? What do you believe they are the skills of a coach? Where do you see it going? Yeah, and I'm going to go through 4 points with you that I believe that are effective skills of a coach in how they meet people, in how they get through to people, in how they communicate with people, in how they get their tasks done with their clients. All right. Now, number one, I want you to say it is all about the task analysis. So when someone comes to you and you're communicating with them, it is all about the task analysis. So how are they analyzing the client? And from analyzing the client, because the task for the client must be fit for purpose. So someone comes to you and they're very upset, or someone comes to you and they're not very upset, or someone comes to you and they need a little bit of guidance, and you know they need that little bit of guidance because you've picked it up from their communication. You picked it up from their non-verbal communication. Now, it's all about your task analysis. So you're going to pick up what they need. Once you pick up what they need, it might be from their communication. It might be from talking to them and communicating with them and them telling you. Sometimes your clients might not even tell you. If you haven't got the right rapport with your clients, they won't tell you a thing. So you've got to learn. You've got to learn to be able to tap into your client's mindset and know exactly where they are, from when you can learn to give them the support or give them the right task. So it's you analyzing the client, taking from the client, taking the information from the client, and then analyzing what is the best task for them. What is it that's going to help them to empower themselves? What is it that's going to help them to move forwards? What is it that's going to help them to reach out for their goals? So you need to be able to put together the right task. When I had a group of young people over in Brown Hills that I used to work with some years ago, I know they loved team building exercises. So when I went into the classroom, or if I get a class of people that I'm trying to work with and I need to get good rapport with them, I need to make them work together, I need to help them to communicate, I know that the task that I'm going to use with that client or with those clients is going to be fit for purpose. It's going to help them to work together, because that's what I want from the outcome. So it's analysing. A good coach will analyse the skills, his skills needed. He'll know how to put the right task in place to reach, to show the person what they need to show. Okay? So that means that you must have, I don't know what you're like when you're communicating with other people, you must have excellent observation skills. So when you're talking with some of your clients, you need to know that when you're talking to them, are they taking in the communication you're giving them? Are they taking that in? Because you need to be able to reach them and be extremely observant with their communications. Look very clearly at how they are nodding their head. Look at very clearly how they are breathing. Look at how they're communicating with their facial features. And even if you say to them, "Are you okay?" they might turn around and say, "Yeah, I'm all right." But you know clearly by the observational skills, through your observational skills, they're not. So you're going to learn to develop your observational skills when you are communicating with other people. Take notice, not just centrally, but peripherally. Take notice peripherally of everything that is going on with that person. And then, and only then, you'll be able to observe exactly where they're at. If you're talking to your client, or if you're talking to your person, your subject, and their face is not looking at you, or they maybe not giving you good eye contact, there's a reason. Maybe you haven't got rapport. Maybe you haven't got no excellent communication with that person. Maybe you're not speaking to them in their language. Now, I remember going to a young person, and a parent was there, and I looked down at the young person. The young person was sitting down, and I said, "How you doing?" "Yeah." That's what he said to me. Now I was coaching this young person. I said, "How you doing?" He ignored me. I said, "Is everything all right?" "Yeah." That's what he said to me. Yeah. Then I said to him, "Have you played Xbox? So-and-so, have you played that game before?" No, I did a little bit of research. And he goes, "Xbox!" He jumped up. And then he started to communicate with me about those Xbox games. Now, by me communicating with him about what he likes, being extremely observant, I was observant because I was looking at his case history. I knew that I got rapport with his kid. As soon as I mentioned that word, Xbox, he was all mine to communicate with. We played a few games. Years ago, when I was mentoring another young person, a very difficult young person, and I remember we introduced a game of pool. I know he liked playing pool. Did a bit of research about his likes and dislikes, and I planned my task around what he liked. Very observant around him. And I also watched him play with me, because the balls were going in by themselves. He had very low self-esteem, so I didn't say anything to him. Third point I want to bring out. So first is task analysis. Second is observation skills. Third point I want to bring out is evaluation skills. So if you're doing something with a client or a young person, and you find that they're not listening to you, you're doing something with them. Maybe you're playing pool with them and you're maybe not getting through to them, or the behaviour is not right. It might be a young person, or it could be an older person. It could be anybody. If you're doing something with a client and the task is not fit for purpose, they will switch off. Once they switch off, they're not going to listen to you. So you must evaluate the sessions. If session 3 wasn't really good and you're having 6 sessions with them, or there's an issue in session 3, you need to calculate how you're going to bypass that issue. So for example, on session 2, I go pick the client up. The client starts swearing at me. I ask him a question. He becomes very, very defensive and aggressive. Session 3, I go to pick up the client. I didn't ask him a question on the third time. I didn't ask him a question. I told him about something that was going on in my life or that day. And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, how was that?" And we got into a conversation. Session 5, I now know he hates questions. So because he hates questions, I'm not going to ask him a question. Some people view questions as interrogative. Balaji, what? Jai Gurudev Ji to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And feel free to make some more comments if you want to. Yes? Cool. Yes, thank you. I hope you're enjoying the show. And I hope you're taking in some learnings from the show. And I hope you can go back and revert to this extract again and take some information off it. I will be chopping up some of the extracts and putting them into 1-minute frames so they're easier to get the learnings out from the programs. Alright, so yeah. As I was saying, you need to be evaluative of how your sessions are going, because if they're not going the right way, you need to change the way they're going. Feedback. We talked about feedback before. You need to have feedback skills. Now the client says to you, "I don't want to do this activity anymore." or the client says to you, I don't want to do this, or the client says to you, I'm bored, or the client says something to you. What is actually going on? What is their behavior telling you? What feedback is their behavior giving to you so that you need to go back and reanalyze the task? You need to be observant. You need to re-evaluate, and you need to take in more feedback. That's why I say to you when I come on here, if there's any feedback you want to give to me, feel free. If something you want to say to me, say it. I'll openly accept what you're saying. All right, okay. So we have sessions online for free if you want to do them. Now we're opening up these to everybody now. Sessions online for free if you want to do them. No charge. It is my pledge to try and help people. It is my pledge to try and help people to gain access to training and development. We will certificate you. You will get certificates for the training you do. I'm doing this all for free. Absolutely free. Okay? Now I'm going to say to you, if you want to donate something and say thank you very much for training, I'll leave that up to you. I'm not going to ask you for no money. Yeah? You probably say I already have. No, I haven't. I'm just being really honest with you that the training that we're doing out there with you guys is absolutely free, and we're opening it up to everybody. So that means no matter what part of the country you're from, yeah, it doesn't matter if you're in a different part of the world, yeah, and you want to do some training and you want to get some certifications and you want to develop yourself, we're going to give it you for free. I'm opening it up to you. All right. So, as I say, attendance. If you're from the West Midlands area, we're not doing attended sessions at the moment. We're just doing online at the moment. And it seems to be working very well, and people seem to be developing. Now, we will be doing attended sessions. Not yet, as soon as COVID eases. Okay? Now, as I say, my pledge, what I'm doing, me, Vikas Chopra, Excellence Training and Coaching, we're pledging to give you free sessions. It doesn't matter where you're from. Okay, that's for everybody. Free sessions, free coaching, free development, free qualifications, no charge. That's my pledge to you. All right, because I want to do my part as well. We want to do our part. So I'm opening everything up to you. Okay, we do work with some funded partners in the Wolverhampton area, but that's got nothing to do with that. I'm saying to you, I will give to you. It doesn't matter whether you're employed or unemployed. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're working or you're an employer. I'll leave that with you. However, I am saying if you want to help me or help us with free training that we're giving out and donate something, I'll leave that with you. I'll leave it on your capable hands. So we have these attended sessions that we were doing before. We're not doing them now, but online sessions. Definitely. When I say online sessions, it doesn't mean you have to log in on Zoom and speak to me. It means you do them in your own time. Okay? So it's distance learning. I will send you the trainer pack, which is worth a couple of £100 with some questions. You complete those questions, get them to me, we'll get our certificates to you. Okay? So I want you to have a think about that. Yeah? Because free is what I'm giving. Okay? Alright. So my number 07932604705. excellencetrain@outlook.com. Some of the programs that we have, and I'll give you up to 4 courses for free. 4 courses for free. Some of the programs that we have, health and safety. Yeah, as I say, it doesn't matter whether you're working or not. There's no charge here. All right. So health and safety we have available for you. We have conflict management available for you. Everybody's going through conflict now. Everybody's going through internal conflict. There's a lot of people going through a mental health conflict, but there's conflict there. Now, conflict management is one of those programs that will help you to internally communicate. Not just internally, but externally. Because there's a lot of frustrated people out there. How are we going to communicate with them? All right. We have the EFIW first aid qualification as well, which you can do. We have food safety if you're looking to open your own business and open your own catering company. We have neuro-linguistics, which is a neuroscience that helps you to master your own internal mindsets. And believe it or not, I paid £4,000 for my course, but I'm not going to charge you. I'm going to say you can do it absolutely free. We have customer service for you. Yeah, so if you get in touch with me, I'll get one of my staff to get back to you, and we'll send you the packs out absolutely free. Okay, but you need to get in touch. The only way you can make some development or get some fruition from this training or from what we do is only by taking action. You have to take some action. You can decide on whatever you want. You can decide until the cows come home. It doesn't matter. But when you make a decision, you have to back it up. You have to back that decision for action by your decision, and that decision should be a why do you want to develop? Why do you want to better yourself? I see a lot of people coming from different countries. I've been delivering to them. Why do they want to improve themselves? Sadly, I see a lot of people in this country, and it's a shame. They've been born and bred here. They don't want to develop. They don't care about personal development. Or they do one course and say it's done. I've done that before. Oh, when was the last time you did first aid then? When was the last time that you learned to save a life? Oh yeah, that was 5 years ago. Okay, can you show me CPR? They don't know CPR. They don't know how to work safely. And God forbid something happen to any of your close family members and you're there and you're supposed to be the first aider, you don't know what to do. Now, years ago I was working with someone and he took someone down the road. He actually made his own first aid qualification and stuck it on the wall. When the guy collapsed in front of him, he did not know what to do. He did not know how to open the airway. In fact, he carried him down the road and left him there. Years ago, and this was a senior security officer, a senior door supervisor. I witnessed this, I was shocked. I said, I thought you were supposed to be first aid. And the guy turned around and says, yeah, I've only made that certificate for the wall, I didn't know what to do. Now, you don't want to be in that kind of predicament. And say if the person on the floor is your family member, how are you going to help them? So neurolinguistics, mastering your own mind, customer service. And also there's I've been talking about mental health. Mental health is huge. Right now, people are not themselves. Suicides have gone up. People are sitting in their homes, depressed. People don't know what to do. People are watching the TV. People are watching the figures. People are frightened to death. People don't know nothing about boosting their immune system. They've not even considered that. All they keep saying to you when you see them is the figures have gone up. So many have died today. Yeah? What's going on? Yeah? They don't know that. And you know, when you're distressed and when you are upset and when you're in that kind of a state and you're frightened and because you can't sleep as well. So, what's that all going to do? Isn't that going to have a huge impact on your immune system? Poor mental health and lowered immune system, they will go hand in hand. Poor mental health and a lowered immune system. Somebody says to me the other week, it's nothing to do with the immune system, it's to do with, I know some gym freaks and they've had COVID. Well, it doesn't matter if you're a gym freak. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are stressed, your immune system will not function. Cortisol levels will go up. Alright, so whether you've been frightened of the news or what's being told on the news or by looking at the figures on the news, the first thing you need to learn to master right now at this point in time is your fear. Master it. And the first thing you need to master is your mind. You think about it. When somebody upsets you, what do? Doesn't your heart start beating faster? Because I'll tell you now, they call cholesterol the silent killer. It will narrow your arteries through the stress that you receive. So you want to learn to I'm going to say you want to join a laughing club, or you want to learn to watch comedy or something, or occupy your mind differently to make yourself laugh. Someone said to me some months ago, they says, I haven't laughed like that for a long time. I haven't laughed like that for a long time. Well, how about you? And I'll give you an exercise. Go to the mirror. Go to the mirror and smile every day. Just for 5 minutes. Pull a few faces and smile. Try that a couple of times a day. Go to the mirror and smile 3-4 times a day, just for 5 minutes. Because years ago there was an experiment done where people were told to look in the mirror for 20 minutes a day and smile. And you know what happened? It changed and it cured their depression. You might say, what's there to smile about? I'm going to say to you, change your physiology. Just go to the mirror and smile and see what happens. See what happens to you. Because I know something's going to happen to you. Pull a face and smile. Don't do it 20 minutes straight. Look in the mirror for 5 minutes. Do that a couple of times a day. Tell me your results. Yeah? When you do that. I want to know what happens to you after 30 days. Mark it on the calendar. See how that's going to change you. Okay? Now, areas of communication that you need to consider. And I normally do a longer talk on this, but I'll just... Your words have only a 7% impact, just remember that. My words speaking to you now have a 7% impact. My tone, the way I'm changing my tone will be slightly different. Tone is 38. My body language, the way I'm moving my hands right now, the way I'm moving around when I'm talking, that will have a 55% impact. So if you can learn to adjust your tone, you watch my tone, it's changing throughout this talk. You can learn to adjust your tone and you can learn to adjust your body language. I'll tell you now, you watch a good speaker. They always use good body language and they use good tone. Think about it, you got a 93% strike with that. Alright, so now when you're communicating with someone that, I'll give you a tip now. When you're communicating with someone and they're with you, first thing you need to do is sit down comfortably, face the individual, look at them, give them a look so that you're communicating with them, and then open your posture, open it up. Okay, don't be all, You see, if I'm not supercharged myself, I'm like a battery charger. If I'm not supercharged myself, how am I going to supercharge that person there? So there needs to be something about me in order for me to help the other person. Have you ever seen a speaker and he's like, yeah, I can motivate you. I think I can motivate you. Have you ever seen a speaker that speaks a bit like that? And the face is moulded exactly like this. Have you ever seen that? Because there are people out there that do it. Now, how am I going to motivate you like that? I've got to move. Yeah? I've got to create movement. I've got to smile. I've got to move my hands. I've got to move myself around to reach you. So open posture. Lean forward. Get the eye contact. Don't stare at the eyes and blatantly, but get the eye contact. And of course, when you're talking to a client, relax. Because the more relaxed you are, the more relaxed they're going to be. If you're nervous, they're going to be nervous. I know someone that was teaching in a classroom and he had an assessment and he was training to be a teacher. I feel sorry for him really. He came to have his assessment and he was so nervous that the assessor would come out. He was nervous with the kids anyway. Maybe he could have done with a bit more support. And he decided to walk out the classroom. He says, I'm not doing teaching anymore. Not doing teaching anymore. Now, when I was younger, and I first started speaking, I would say to myself, are they really going to listen? Are they really going to want to listen to me? Are these people, my audience, really going to want to listen to me? Do I have something really important? I had low self-esteem. Do I have something important to tell them that can stir them up? That's what I used to ask, because I had very low self-esteem. Everybody, let me correct you all here, everybody in this life has something important. Everybody in this life has something, has a story. I don't care what story it is, but you've got a story in there, or you've got stories in there, you've got resources in there, you've got information in there, you've got experiences in there, you've got so much that you've experienced, and that information is invaluable. That information can be told in such a way, those experiences can be told in such a way that you can draft, you can take out all those learnings. Because for every situation you have, you can take out 3 learning outcomes. Every situation you have, okay? So I want you to say say it on the inside to yourself, and know that on the inside, because I know that you know. Inside you, there is some invaluable material. There is something that you have to give the world. There is something that you have to give to other people. But you need to recognize what your gift is. When I went to secondary school, my first day, the first assembly that we did, I remember the conversation. The teacher said to us, you have some gifts. We've all been blessed with gifts. Learn to find out what your gift is. I mean, you might say to me, well, Vic, I don't know how you talk. Somebody said to me the other week, I don't know how you talk for 50 minutes on the radio. I couldn't do it. Yeah, but my courses are a lot longer. You know, I couldn't always do this. Yes, I've been teaching for a good 20 years. But before that, I couldn't do this. I trained myself to communicate with other people. And life is all about that training. Life is all about you internally training yourself so you can go out there and help other people. So what I want to say is, as I say, I've gone through some courses that we can give you. I've gone through the information that we have for you. I'm not going to go through any more now, but what I'm going to say to you is, if you want to have some feedback from me and you want to tell me something that's important, or you want to have some communication with me with regards to coaching or development, or coaching with us, excellence training and coaching, you can get in touch with me on 079326047005. If you want to alternatively communicate with any of the other presenters, if you're a fan of any of the presenters and you want to talk to them on Zoom, etc., we have GK on here that comes in on Zoom and talks about current issues as well in India, and then you can contact him as well. So if you want to speak to me, if you've got a story and you want to tell other people, if you've got an inspiration that you want to tell other people about, something that's happened to you or something that you're currently doing now that might be able to help other people, then please do communicate with me. So I want to thank you very much and say over and out for today, and I'm going to see you on Saturday at 1 o'clock. If you want to give me some feedback as well on when you think this program should show. I mean, I'm thinking of changing it to the weekend as well, so give me some feedback if you can, please. Yeah, I've been doing the Wednesdays for a while now, so give me some feedback. Okay, thank you very much. Vikas Chopra, Kanchi Radio, over and out. We'll hear from you very soon. Goodbye. Thank you.